was the longtime coach at Maine, and he was very black and white, very abrupt. And I asked him, I said, Coach, what'd you think of the regional? And he said, I knew you guys were going to lose. And I said, you did? And he said, oh yeah. He goes, you didn't handle that well as a head coach, and I thought your players were tight. And he wasn't trying to break my spirit, but he was so black and white, and he was such a good mentor that he just wanted me to know at that moment that there's nothing you can do about that loss right now, but there's something you can do about that loss in your future. And he just felt that we were probably too tight, and it all started with me. And I got it. I did. It took me some time, because when you hear that, it's like another shot to the gut. You received the one the night before, and then you received one right then. But it may have been some of the most important advice from someone who did care about me and did care about our well-being as a program. And certainly, Maggie's influence too has helped that.
In that Zoom call again that you guys have had, I'd ask you about Gino the other day. Is it refreshing to know that other coaches have to deal with those expectations in the same way that you've got to win it again and those sort of things?
Yeah, I think very much. I mean, that's where you can have those intimate conversations, because you feel like you're on I wouldn't say a level plane, because I don't look at my playing level with Gino in any way, just because he's done so much in such a long period of time. But I think at least you know that you're on the plane of people that are thinking very in a similar way. And yes, I think that helps, as does, with Brad. When Brad was at Butler, he built a program that had high expectations, and then they went to the finals twice. And then obviously going to the Celtics has been probably I can't wait to talk to him after it's over, because just the level of expectations in the Boston community about their teams, period. So I would tell you, Adam, I've gained more information and thoughts from those calls on a myriad of things, but specifically that what you've addressed.
Thanks.
Yep.
David White.
Hey, Corbs, they say that momentum in baseball is your next day's starting pitcher. And last week, maybe you didn't have the momentum you wanted. And then you said in 2014, nobody remembers the SEC champion. But is there a way to get momentum back this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think this is a completely new situation now, David. I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes my experiences, and it kind of alluding to what Adam was talking about in handling the postseason, is the postseason is completely new. So basically it's rewiring yourself for what's coming now, because what's happened in the past is very much in the past, and it's been a great proving ground for developing a good baseball foundation. But just because it happened in a certain way during the regular season, that doesn't mean that that's going to happen moving forward. I mean, our kids have confidence. They understand what they've done during the course of the season. They understand what they've played, and they just have to trust what they do and their foundation in moving forward.
Coach, is Kumar's confidence still pretty high?
I mean, Kumar's confidence he bounces back really quick from a win or a loss. So not much changes with him. You're not going to get a different reaction or a different feel, and there's no manufactured talk with him. It's just what you see is what you get. He's a very real kid.
Thank you.
Joe Rexrode.
Yeah, Tim, following up on Kumar there, obviously you're leaning on him heavily in terms of his spot in the rotation, but how much are you looking to him as a sort of a emotional tone setter as well, as a guy who has been through these high pressure situations and performed so well?
Well, I think leaning on him, Joe, I've never gone to him personally and asked him, told him that. I think he's very aware of who he is and what he's doing. He's very aware that he gets probably more a distorted amount of attention than the other players on the team. But I think what's most important for him to realize is he doesn't have to do anything out of whack. He just needs to be him. And by being him, he's going to provide us a model of behaviors that will be powerful for the kids. But, there's a lot of other people that are going to need to help Kumar out. Kumar can't do this by himself. He just needs to pitch in the way that he knows how, as does Leiter, as does everyone else. But this certainly is going to be a team effort. We need to move the ball for our pitchers too, and that's probably just as important as Kumar's start.
Robbie?
Hey, Tim. Dom on the selection day said that he thought that the couple of days off were going to be really helpful for the team in terms of resetting and maybe refreshing a little bit. Have you seen that? What effects maybe have you seen from that break?
Well, I thought Tuesday was slow when we got back on the field, but in looking back at it, we had 3 days of no baseball, so it took a little bit of time. But yesterday and today were very efficient days. They were good. They were what you would expect going into tomorrow. So I've seen different actions through the years, and this one is consistent with what I've seen in terms of the upward trend of mood and movement, which is physical movement and mental movement. That energy right there you can see, and it's been good.
Then I guess how has Carter maybe progressed over the last few days, and do you expect him to start on Friday, tomorrow?
Well, I know he wants to play, and he's progressed. He's doing the best he can. But if you saw him, Robbie, I don't think you'd say there's anything really different with him. I just think that there's range of motion issues probably in terms of certain balls, but everything else physically, it looks like, he's swinging the bat, looks like Carter, albeit it's just left-handed, but he's swinging the bat pretty well. He's playing good defense. So now it's just, that adrenaline's going to have to kick into a game, because the last game he played was that first inning at Florida International. So, we're just going to have to see where we go. But he wants to play. There's no doubt about that. We'll make that decision probably tonight.
Teresa?
Tim, not much changes with Kumar, but it's been 2 years since he's been in that, he or this team have been in a tournament, NCAA tournament, because of the pandemic last year. As a pitcher, as a person, maybe what is different about him than it was 2 years ago when he got so much attention with the no and you all winning the championship?
First, good to see you again, Teresa. I think the main thing is when you're a young kid and you were on that team, there were a lot of older people. So I think he was very comfortable just blending in and trying to do his thing. He probably felt like there was plenty of support. I don't really need to do too much. I think the thing that, and I'm not saying this is how he feels, but I as a coach have never wanted him to feel like, okay, I've got to do more than what I did my freshman year, which is not true. He just has to be himself. But I would tell you what's changed for him is just the maturity piece. I mean, there's a level of maturity that exists today that didn't reside several years ago. There's a leadership component to him that is real. I mean, he steps out for his team. And I think the one thing that he always is he's kind of a protector. He's a very protective spirit. He protects his team and he protects his boys. And I think that piece is more overwhelming now because of where he is in this program and the stage of his life.
Patience?
Coach, Georgia Tech is a number 2 seed coming into this regional tournament. What is your overall observation of the Yellow Jackets this season?
I don't have one because we're not playing them. I like your first name. I thought actually I was being told to have some patience, which has been a flaw, but no, we're not playing them. So I'm just concentrating on Presbyterian. I don't know much about Georgia Tech right now, and I'm not even going to go there until we need to play them.
Max Hers.
Corbs, just wanted to confirm with what you said earlier. If Carter Young plays this weekend, he would hit left-handed even against lefty pitching.
Yeah, as of right now, Max, he would, yes.
Thank you.
David White.
Corbs, Christian Little became a piece in the rotation last week and against Ole Miss in game one. How has he matured as a pitcher, and do you see him now as your fourth option in the starting rotation?
I see him as an option. Where he is, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, he certainly has matured, David. I think, and matured from a baseball standpoint. I think once he got midway through the season and once school was gone, I thought there was an element of comfort, and I just felt more comfort in him as a person, and I just felt like his concentration on baseball became more so. I like how he's developed. He certainly he's got some more confidence now that he didn't have at the beginning, which is understandable.
Is his arm okay, Coach?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Chris Harris.
Hey, Tim, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I was wondering, you mentioned about, excuse me, Kumar being a tone setter on day one. With this being such a young team, who are the other alpha guys that you look to kind of fill that role and help set the tone as a team moving forward?
Bradfield's an alpha now. Bradfield's on fire the minute he gets down here. He's not very comfortable with coming up short in any regard. Now, personally, when he comes up short, he's able to get by it quick. He's a mentally tough individual. But I would say for being a young kid, he certainly has grown into that kind of Kumar-like personality that Kumar had as a freshman. He knows he belongs. He knows that he sets a tone, and he speaks up. And I would say, Dominic does that at certain points too. I mean, you're starting to see more personalities come out as we start to move forward, and they know it's needed, and they're just trying to give the team what the team needs at this time. But I would say Bradfield and Keegan in particular. And Tate is a very energized young man. I mean, he's always talking. And then you look at other kids and, they lead in their own way. They're just more internal and quiet on the field.
Joe Rexrose, bringing us home.
That's actually just me not on raising my hand. I'm sorry.
No worries. I think we got time for one more question for Coach, if anybody has one. Teresa.
Tim, tomorrow night with Presbyterian, a little ironic that the committee set you up, and sorry, I was busy in Memphis on Monday when all this came out, but chance for your 900th win against Presbyterian. How special is tomorrow night, or is it just pull that aside and focus on trying to get this regional off to a good start?
Yeah, we just want to play well. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. I'm excited for Elton, Pollock, and Presbyterian as a sidebar. I mean, I'm excited for them because I know how difficult it is to get into a regional when you're at Presbyterian. I mean, they had to win their tournament and they had to play well, and they are playing well, and they are very dangerous and a mentally tough team like their coach. But I'm extremely excited for the school and the university and Elton, because Elton played for me. He was tough as nails. He was a great kid. He helped build that program when I was there. And I just know how difficult what he's had to endure and persevere in order to get his team to where they are right now. He's done such a nice job. He's such a good kid from such a good family. So I'm just excited that they're going to be able to share the field with us, but we just need to play well.
Coach, thanks for your time today.
Yep, you got it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Corbs.
Thank you.
Joining us in just a moment will be Vanderbilt junior Kumar Rocker.
So at 12, the Zoom link with Bob
Hey, Kumar, can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us, Kumar. Joining us now, Vanderbilt Junior, Kumar Rocker. As always, if you have a question for Kumar, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Teresa, we'll start with you.
Good morning, Kumar. How different is it this time around? I mean, 2 years ago, you're a freshman, and Vanderbilt goes on to get a national title. You had a no-no, but then there's been a pandemic, and now suddenly you're a junior, and it's kind of a unique situation. But now back to finally an NCAA tournament once again. How different does it feel that, considering how long it's been since the last one?
I wouldn't necessarily feel it's different. I think it's just another opportunity for a different team, and we're gonna make the most of it. Come here in the next couple of days.
Joe Rexford.
Following up on that, Kumar, what about just you personally? How have you changed? How have you grown in those 2 years from then to now?
I just got a little bit more innings under my belt, a little more games, new people, new mindset, and I don't know, I'm slowly growing. I'm slowly learning still in this game.
Hey, Kumar. How have you seen Christian Little maybe develop over the course of the season, and what do you think he's doing so well right now? He's played some of his best baseball recently.
The biggest thing I've seen is when you run freshmen out there, as soon as they get a sniff of maybe 5 innings, 6 innings, and a little bit of success, they start to catch on what they need to do. Now they need to come to the field. And with him, it's been a slow progression. It's been a progression at the right time. It's perfect timing for him.
Teddy Cahill.
Kumar, what do you feel like has kept you grounded or focused during this this season, especially with so much going on, outside the diamond?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's been easy, but for the most part, really teammates in the locker room, and then really just, I guess, myself really, and then God, of course.
Kayla Anderson.
Hey, Kumar, what's been the discussion with the guys just going into the postseason with this fresh start, as Corbs mentioned to us just a minute ago? How do you start building that momentum with this group, since you are looking at it as a fresh start?
Right. So, I mean, we come out the gate hot, of course, and then as you move on, people start to get a little bit more tired, and you see like the faces get a little different. And then, like you said, a new slate. It's a new, fresh season. And I think we showed that today just by our simple practice. And I think we're ready to move forward. We got to understand where we're at. We get to host a regional. We get to play in a nice crowd. We get to play on TV. So little things like that we need to enjoy.
Chris Lee.
Kumar, you seem like you've had games where you've gone along and just dominated and struck out the side, and then it's the one bad inning where you kind of lose your control, your command. Have you been able to figure out like what it's been in the bad inning that you've had that's kind of, been the cause of that? And what have you guys done to work on those things maybe as you've identified them?
Right. I don't think it's anything specific. I think for me, what I have to understand is that time in between innings. I need to start taking those time in between innings a little bit differently and come out with a new mindset every inning. And I'll start to find myself more grounded.
Chris Harris.
Kumar, you talked about a fresh start and a fresh slate. As just kind of one of the leaders on this team, we were asking Corbs just about, who on the team has that alpha male mentality to be a tone setter, and you mentioned you as one of them. What do you do? What do you take upon yourself to kind of help set the tone for the team?
Showing up to the locker room with energy is the first thing, and then I have opportunity to pitch here and really pitch the first inning of the game, and hopefully set the tone for the rest of the regional.
So what can you kind of take us through your process as far as how you do try to set the tone?
I mean, the way I talk, the way I walk, simple things like that. I mean, you gotta have a presence in the locker room, and you can have that.
Hey, you say that.
David White.
What's up, man?
Kumar, I know the SEC tournament wasn't what y'all wanted as a team, but was it helpful at all? And does it help your mindset going to the NCAAs?
I think 100% helps more, and I think it makes everyone want it more, especially me, because at that point, it wasn't the outcome I personally wanted, and it wasn't the face for the team. I put him in a bad spot. And moving forward now, it just makes me want a little bit more.
Hey, walk out here.
Teresa, back to you.
Apologies, that was a raised hand, but since I've got you, Kumar, what have you been working on in your pitching itself to hone some of your pitches, or what is it, just gaining strength over this season? What have you been working on, or maybe it's been a mental issue? Is there been one aspect of your game you've been trying to hone?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the point. I think it's a mental issue, and I think moving forward, rather than expectations, I need to learn how to repeat, and that's what I'm gonna do moving forward, is repeat rather than hold expectation for myself.
Yeah, up there.
Andrew.
You talk about that energy and just coming to the locker room. Would you say you came into Vanderbilt with that same type of energy? And also, maybe if not, how has that evolved over the years?
I don't think it's changed. I think it's definitely wavered for me personally. I think I got to kind of find innocence coming into this season. Every start, you pitch every weekend. You got to be happy. You got to enjoy pitching that Friday. And that's what I'm going to do moving forward.
Any more questions for Kumar? Patience?
Kumar, what would you say has made you so effective on the mound this season? And what would you say has made you so dominant against opposing hitters?
I think it's really the attitude moving forward. And I don't think it's anything specific that makes you dominant. I just think it's your presence on the mound.
Teddy?
You talked about needing to enjoy the little things coming up in the NCAA tournament. Is that something you've been able to do so far this season?
Yeah, I've had the moments. It's easier at the beginning, of course, as you start getting down the long run. It gets a little bit harder, but I'm gonna find my footing here soon, and I'll find my footing for the team, of course.
David White?
Kumar, Corb's listed you and Enrique and Dom and Tate as leaders on this team. How do you lead this team into the NCAAs?
I wouldn't say it's a set formula, but like I said, it's the way each and one of those guys walk and talk. Everyone's got a different personality, and they need to bring that to the field come tomorrow. And from that, we're going to play good baseball. And then from there, it's a simple win. It's what the scoreboard says.
Any more questions for Kumar? Great. Kumar, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kumar.
Thank you.
Joining us in just a moment will be Vanderbilt freshman Enrique Bradfield Jr. Hey, Enrique, thanks for joining us. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thanks for joining us. As always, if you have a question for Enrique, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Chad Bishop, we'll start with you.
Enrique, are you aware of Vanderbilt's single season stolen base record?
I am. It's not something I looked at going into the season, but I've heard a couple people around me mention it to me.
Does that put any more pressure on you when you get on base to try to swipe a few more?
No, that's not even in the forefront of my mind. If it happens, it's a great accomplishment, of course, but that's not something I'm thinking about while I'm out there.
Is that why you wear the number 51?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask for about that.
He's never told you why he gave you that number?
No.
Thanks, man.
Chris Lee?
Yeah, Enrique, you've never played, obviously, in the NCAA tournament, being a freshman. I guess the closest thing you can get to it would have been Hoover last week. But what was that like going down and playing baseball on the big stage in front of a ton of people in a tournament atmosphere? Did you take anything or learn anything from that?
I love being in Hoover. It was a great atmosphere, but it's something that it's not new to me. It's new to me at this level and this stage, but I've always been able to play at some high level events. So it wasn't something I was overwhelmed by. I did obviously take my time, and I want to make sure I'm enjoying the moments. So I take my time and look around. The fans were great all week, and the competition is. We play in the SEC. It doesn't get any better than that. So it was fun. And now going to the NCAA's, I'm just going to keep the same. I know the atmosphere is going to be crazy, so I'm excited to get out there this weekend and see what it has for us.
Kayla Anderson.
Hey, Enrique, how do y'all go about setting the tone to start this postseason? Kind of erasing the SEC tournament. This is just a fresh start. What's been the talk in the clubhouse?
Nothing has changed for us, really. It's just coming out, doing what we know how to do best. We've trained and we played for these moments, and we worked for this. So it's just about enjoying the game and having fun together, playing smart and playing hard.
Chris Harris.
Hey, Enrique, coming into this year, did you feel like you would have the impact that you would have on this team in your first year? And then if so, like at what point during this season did you have kind of like an aha moment where you're like, yeah, I'm doing this, I can do this?
I've always known I've been able, like I would have the ability to impact the team. I just didn't know how much. But then as we got into the season, I was focused on just doing my role or playing my part in the offense at the bottom of the order. I came up to the top and nothing changes. Now I just get the party started, and that's about it.
Can you kind of speak to how your confidence grew as the season went on, as you started to have more and more opportunities and success?
I've always been a confident individual, but playing at this level and having success has made my confidence grow. But it's also come to getting help from other guys like Kumar, Cooper Davis. I've had conversations with many of my teammates older than me, so they've been through what I'm going through right now, and they help me maintain my confidence at times and help it grow at the same time. So it's all to them, really.
Sorry, just one more for me. Corbs referred to you when I was asking him who the alpha males are on this team. He actually said you were one of them, despite the fact that you happen to be a freshman. What does that mean to you to be an alpha male and a tone setter for a team?
Personally, I just focus on doing my part, and I want to lead by example, and I want to go out there and play hard because I'm playing for everybody around me, and everybody's playing for me as well. So it's just about doing my part for me and leading the team through my example.
Any more questions for Enrique? Kayla Anderson.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Enrique, just because you guys are now able to have fans in there, it's been an exciting atmosphere, but now hoping to take that to another level here in the regionals. How excited are you just to experience that right here on your home field?
I'm really excited. I'm sure I'll get giddy when it gets close to game time. I'm normally a calm individual leading up to a game, and then when I get out there and I see the fans, it gets me pretty pumped up. And just to be surrounded with our guys, we've worked for this all year, and now it's finally here. We're at the tournament, so it's time to go have fun and play ball.
Teresa Walker.
Enrique, what's the confidence level on the team when you've got a pitching staff led by Kumar and Jack, especially now that you're in regional time, knowing that those two guys should be able to go out there and put you in good position each weekend now?
The confidence level is great. I would say we all know what we're capable of, and it's just about going out there with a focused, intent mindset and delivering on that basis.
David White.
Enrique, following up on that, is there a different mindset this week than there was last week in going into the SEC and kind of a renewed optimism?
Yeah, I would say there's a renewed optimism. It's a fresh start. Last week at the matter. It mattered last week, but it doesn't matter right now. And all we're worried about is tomorrow. Going out there, we had a great week of training, and we're ready to get out there as a team and and go play.
Any last questions for Enrique? Great. Enrique, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Enrique.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. Have a great week.